Two popular left-wing political commentators have now been barred from entering the UK for what they say are their criticisms of Israel. We're talking about the host of the YouTube series The Young Turks and Hasan Piker, progressive influencers with millions of viewers between them. They were supposed to head over to the UK for some speaking gigs this week, but then their travel authorizations were revoked. Now, the British government says it's because their presence in the UK may not be conducive to the public good. No explicit mention of Israel there. It comes after Britain banned Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West, of course, from coming a couple months back after his anti-Semitic social media posts and songs. Sahil Kapoor is covering this one for us. This is interesting here. What is the UK trying to do? The British government is not saying specifically that it's because of these podcasters' criticism of Israel. That is what these podcasters think.
Yeah, that's right, Hallie. The UK government is not being explicit about what exactly these men did or said that led to this ban. But if we look at the backdrop surrounding all of this, it's not difficult to decode. This comes at a time where advocates for Israel and Jewish groups in the UK, such as the Jewish Leadership Council, were calling for them to be banned, while free speech activists have been condemning this idea. Now, both men responded online. Take a look at what they said. Hasan Piker saying, quote, "The UK has revoked my visa as well at the behest of Israel." Cenk Uygur saying, quote, "I've been banned for criticizing Israel." By the way, both these tweets got millions and millions of views, Hallie, so you have to wonder if there's a Streisand effect here, where by trying to squelch these men, that they're ultimately reaching an even bigger stage. I reached out to both men. Cenk Uygur said the UK did not specify to him, even privately, why his visa was revoked. He said, quote, "The UK hasn't told me why they banned me. The Times of London reported that they told them it was because I criticized Israel." He called it Kafkaesque levels of absurdity. And he also cited a Pew poll that showed 60% of Americans have an unfavorable view of Israel, wondering if they too would be banned from entering the UK. Hasan Piker, for his part, responded by sending me this headline in the Times of Israel, saying, quote, "Jewish groups call on the UK to bar dangerous Hasan Piker amid anti-Semitic attacks." So there's no mystery, at least in the minds of these men, as to why they were banned. Now, of course, both of them emphatically deny the claims that they're anti-Semitic, that they say their criticisms are about the government of Israel, not Jewish people, and they say what's dangerous and wrong is to conflate the two things, Hallie.
Sahil Kapoor. Sahil, thanks for being the tip of the spear in our reporting on that. Interesting stuff. We'll keep an eye on it. Before I let you go, though, just because we referenced it, the Kanye thing. I mean, we covered that on this show when it happened. And at this moment, you have to wonder about the free speech discussion that's happening on both sides of the Atlantic.
Absolutely, and I think it'll crank up to an even greater degree in the UK, which, of course, doesn't have the type of stringent First Amendment protections that we do. That's an ongoing discussion. Apart from Kanye West, there were others, a group of 11 of them, according to BBC News, 11 people who were banned from the UK on similar grounds, who were called far-right agitators by the Prime Minister Keir Starmer, including the US-based anti-Islam activist Valentina Gomez. So this is rare, but not unprecedented for the UK to do something like this, Hallie.
Sahil, thank you. Appreciate you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.